We're going live. Wow. So I think we are working. I think we are live on the internet. I hope we have sound, ladies and gentlemen. So, wow. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, hopefully. This time, hopefully you can actually hear us talking about some Lego. Isn't that right, George?
Indeed. I say. So, with the best wills in the world, technology is never always our friends, but fingers crossed, Take Two will work.
Yeah, hopefully, streaming Take Two does work, and people out there in the land of internet can actually hear us. So I know it's Take Two, guys, but welcome to the first show of hopefully many that Diary of a Lincoln Geek are going to be doing. This is the first one in the series, which is talking about Lego, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We'll kick right in. Have we got a green light, George, from your end?
Yeah, all good here.
Yeah, and can people hear?
I hope so.
Yeah, so fingers crossed. Guys, hopefully out there on internet land, if you can hear us and you are watching right now, comments have been enabled. So please just give us a thumbs up, give us a like, anything just to let us know it is where you're out there and you are watching and you are listening and you can actually hear us. So thank you again. So we'll kick off and just hopefully we'll move along and start the show. So, how is everyone? We're going to just take a quick moment. That's lovely. Thank you, Sui. It's lovely to hear that you can actually hear us. That is wonderful. That is always what we like to hear. So before we start and get too excited with everything, let's just have a quick moment for our sponsor, which is buyfullbodyarmors.com. They producing some amazing cosplay suits that are actually wearable. They are phenomenal. You can see what one on screen at this at the moment. You can see that they're producing the new War Machine Mark 1 armor, completely customizable. Add on whichever elements you want. And if you do want to order one, please do go ahead and take some pictures and send them to us. But also remember that to use that all-important discount code, which is hashtag DOALG. Yes, Diary of a Lincoln Geek. That's what it stands for. But use that hashtag code and you'll get an exclusive discount. So wonderful. So without further ado, we'll move on, shall we? Now we've heard from our sponsor.
Indeed. I say I'm so looking forward to seeing the Falcon suit when they've finally done that. The planning shots are looking awesome.
Yeah, the Falcon suit does look very good. So yeah, check out their website, guys, and check out and see what they do. It's phenomenal. Right, so very quick introduction for anyone who hasn't seen one of our streams before. We are Diary of a Lincoln Geek. We are bloggers, art reviewers, of anything geeky, to be completely honest. But we're kind of taking a speciality in Lego and board games, which are our favorites. But we do other things as well. But primarily, we're here to talk about Lego today. I am Mr. Chris. I'm probably one of the founder of Diary of a Lincoln Geek, along with a couple of others. I've been into Lego since I was a little nipper. I really have. I absolutely love Lego. I still collect it. I still buy it, much to my wife's dismay. And yeah, well, my favorite kits from early days will probably be some of the original 80s classic style space Lego series. And I do have a soft spot for the Lego Technic Control Center. If you know the one I mean, it's the one that had the big control panel with the robot arm that you could build, and you could also build a machine that would do drawing, an electronic Etch-a-Sketch. It was really cool. So if you've got any favorite sets that you guys collect or you have out there, please do let us know. But without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Mr. George E.O.
Yes, Giorgio, otherwise known as the rules lawyer. I have been known to take a rulebook apart and even challenge some designers to some really interesting questions.
Certainly have.
Today is, of course, about Lego and not board games, but I've also been into Lego since I was a wee nipper, starting off with good old Duplo, working my way up through to Technic and everything else in between.
Yeah.
So I've still got many a crate of Lego at my parents' house, which I need to recover and sort through. So much stuff in there. Some really old kits that are probably worth a small fortune now if I actually manage to find all the bits to them. Really looking forward to getting into that. So thanks for you, Mr. Chris, for getting me back into it recently.
Yeah, it's all my fault.
Been so it's not all your fault.
No,
I'm just so jealous of the Falcon.
Yeah. Well, that started it off, really, wasn't it? Again, for me, it was because I was given the green light to buy a Millennium Falcon by the missus because I'd always wanted one. And Smith's Toys, this isn't a plug, by the way, but Smith's Toys do a promotion every year. And the promotion meant I got like £160 off. So I was like, it's a no-brainer.
Definitely.
You can see that speed build, by the way, guys, on our Facebook page and on our website, which is, of course, DOALG.co.uk. So that is a featured link on our stream, so you guys can check that out if you want to. But we'll carry on without further ado and move on to our next section, which is, of course, when it decides to do it, what are we building at the moment? Is it me first? Is it you first? Well, who wants to kick this off, George? I think it's you, isn't it?
I think it was me first, yes. So I'll say, other than the few things which I built for my birthday, the big set which was most recently been building was the lunar module for the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 lunar landing.
Yeah.
Bought it as a birthday present for my dad, who's worked in space for the more than I can count years on my fingers. I say he absolutely loves space. I wanted to get him something really nice. He's always after lovely little knickknacks to keep on his desk, otherwise known as his home within his home.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I'll say found this kit when I was looking through the Lego store. Absolutely lovely kit. I was fortunate enough to be allowed to help build it for him.
Yeah, you helped him build it.
Yeah, I didn't build most of it myself, honestly.
No, not at all. No, you didn't buy a present for your dad and end up, enjoying it more than he did.
But it's an absolutely fabulous kit. Set 10266, just over 1,000 pieces. Really detailed, great playability on it, and I just love the set. It just works so well. I say even down to the detailed base that it sits on. It's about a 7x7 inch base. Craters on the moon. It's specifically got the landing pads so you can sit it on as a nice display model. But as I say, it's the detail throughout it is fabulous.
It looks really good. I mean, does it separate like the real one does?
Yeah, so it's built in 4 modules. So it's the base, the interior of the base module, and then the arm struts, and then the top module comes off as well. But the detailing inside the base, that it's actually detailed all the fuel tanks and in the interior fully.
Oh, fantastic. That's the thing. This is one of the big things that I love about Lego toys, particularly when they're based on something real. Their attention to detail is phenomenal. And the fact that they've done the interior sounds incredible. It is definitely a kit I want to see, if not even get and build myself.
Yeah, but I say it's not just the detail for interiors, it's the playability on it. The little things like hatches that open for the landing camera and the radio equipment. The fact that the top module actually separates out so you can put the astronauts inside and have them play with either the control modules or some of the panels on the back. the ladders and everything. It's a lovely kit to have as a display model, even as a play kit. Creator has always been a favourite range for myself, and I think they really outdid themselves with this kit. It's absolutely fabulous.
I mean, it marks it up as a 16 plus expert set, but to be completely honest, even a well-developed teenager could probably do this, couldn't they?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that the advisory ages are clearly always just for legal purposes. Yeah. I think most teams would take this on without any issues whatsoever.
Yeah. No. Awesome. Brilliant.
So,
no.
Mr. Chris, you're going to tell us what you've got coming up.
Oh, what have I got coming up? Crikey. Well, so I'm a naughty boy, and I well, not naughty, but I buy kits and I keep them in storage, ready for filming and doing the speed builds that we do on Diary of a Lincoln Geek. And of course, I have only just got round to preparing to film this. So this is, of course, is the Ultimate Collector Series Awing Starfighter.
Just to add to the collection you've got.
Yeah. It's not as big as some. Trust me, it's not as big as some of people's collections. But it's being a nice addition to my collection, because I haven't really, while I've built an A-wing, the last A-wing I built was for the 24-hour NHS live stream. It's not 24-hour, 12-hour live stream we did for charity, and that was the last and only A-wing I've built, and that was just a standard small scale, and of course all those kits got auctioned off for charity. So this one isn't. This is mine. I am not auctioning this one off, but it is a beautiful kit. And even in the pictures, I'm only at the preparation stages of building this kit. I've basically unboxed it. I've separated it and organized all the parts, ready to be basically put together. If anyone who watches the streams and watches any of our videos and checks out our content regularly, know that in our speed builds, we put the unboxing, the sorting of the parts, as well as the assembly on it, because some people like to see it. So that's what I'm at the moment doing at the moment. I've had a sneak peek and looked at the stickers on this, George.
Yeah, really detailed.
Are really detailed. The bits that go on the canopy, I'm quite good at doing stickers normally, but I'm actually nervous about doing it on the canopy. For the first time, I may actually put on masking tape for guidelines. Ooh. Because it goes across the middle of the canopy. And if I do, I'll show people how I've done that and why I've done that, because I want it to be straight. It's paranoid. Definitely. Attention to detail. But this is what these Ultimate Collector Series are. They are attention to detail, and this looks absolutely awesome, and I'm so excited to actually start building this. Just short, just slightly over 1,600 pieces, if I remember correctly. So yeah, in fact, in there it's on the picture. It's 1,673 pieces, and it's set 75275, and it's 18 years and up. I can understand why, because there is quite a complexity on the inside. It has that kind of what they call rainbow style structure for putting things together, just so you can see what parts go where with different colors, and a few Technic beams as well. So I can understand why they've put that on there as a guideline. But again, I reckon a 15-year-old, maybe even a 14-year-old could do this with a little bit of supervision. A 14-year-old's not going to swallow any parts.
No.
A 2-year-old would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, another kit I recently got, which stickers, again, really add to the detailing. Lovely present from my wife for my birthday. The Stormtrooper Busk.
Jammy Devil. Where did she get that? Well, it's a birthday present. I know you probably shouldn't know, but it's been out of stock.
I'm sure she'll mention it soon. But I'll say just the little detailing, just with the little vents on the sides there, just so brilliant. And again, just adding little pieces with stickers to add the detailing on, just absolutely fabulous. And again, just the level of detailing with the rainbow pieces on the inside to build the structure. It's just a lovely kit, which I'll say it sits off pride of place, and I shall put it back in its home for you to admire through the rest of the series show over my shoulder.
Yeah, no, it is nice, and I do like the other busts as well. I like the Boba Fett, and I also like the is it a Sith Trooper helmet? It is.
It's TIE Fighter.
TIE Fighter helmet.
TIE Fighter pilot, and I'm sure I will end up getting both of them and add to my bust collection on the drinks cabinet.
Yeah, no, that's all good. All right, so that's it for the moment. But what we would like to do is introduce and ask you guys out there in the world of internet. Also, Sue's come back, says she got it from Smith's Toys and didn't get it from Amazon, surprisingly. Okay, that's interesting. Smith's Toys are actually surprisingly really good. And I would say to people, like I say, this isn't a sponsored thing. Maybe I should get Smith's Toys to sponsor this. But they do a yearly offer. And it is a good time to buy toys. It really is. So I've got a little one on the way. So I'm going to have to start buying practical stuff, not just Lego for myself. But it is a good time to get it. So
Lego is practical. You're buying toys in anticipation for them.
Yes, of course they are. Of course they are. They're not collector's pieces to go on display. So yeah, what we'd like you guys to do in future, because obviously we know this is still quite new. We'd like you guys to, let us know what you guys are building. So if anyone's online watching at the moment, do pipe up and let us know what you're building and working on at the moment. We like to hear. But we will move on. But if I see any comments pop up, we'll quickly cover them if we've got a chance. So, but yeah, we'll move on. So, what's new with Lego? So, we know there's lots of new stuff going on with Lego. But what we do is we're going to cherry pick some of the bits that have kind of really intrigued us and interest us. Okay, so one being a particular one that has sparked a lot of interest, and I'm sure anyone out here who collects Lego Star Wars like I do is very excited about the thought of getting the Ultimate Collector Series Best Bin Duel for the 40th anniversary. Yes, the 40th anniversary of what, George?
The Empire Strikes Back.
Yes, it is, exactly.
What is still the best Star Wars film?
I think so, yes. Very followed closely by Rogue One.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's for another show.
Yeah.
But then this pays homage to the 40th anniversary, and it's a lovely little kit. Initially, when some kind of hints were spoiled about this being released, it was basically going to be people were like, is this real? Is this genuine? Because it had come on forums on other sites, and were like, worried about the validity of this rumor. And it is true because it is available in the US at this moment in time. It has already sold out in the US. So if we've got any friends out there that has a spare one and wants to donate one to us for review, that would be great. If not, don't worry, we'll get one eventually. But it looks great. I mean, it's that depict moment of them fighting, and where he spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, he reveals that is his father. So
yeah, I'll say such the iconic scene, and indeed of the original trilogy. I think it's the perfect bit to depict that set. Mm-hmm. And I think, as I say, it's just the detail, and again, such actually rare minifigures as well.
Yeah, some nice minifigures as well. I mean, any of the Star Wars collectors out there are probably going to say, well, I've already got a Luke and I've already got a Vader. But if you haven't, it's a nice set if you're wanting to collect Ultimate Collector Series kits. I mean, it's not the most expensive of kits, and it's not one of the largest of Ultimate Collector Series kits. It's at about 295 parts, it says on the box, which is very small for a kit, but it's detailed. And that's what I like about it. And like you say, George, it's iconic.
And I say, just like the Lunar Lander set, it's a nice size to have as a display piece, because that's sometimes some of the problem with these Ultimate Collector sets. They're so huge. Most people don't have the space for them. This is something which anyone can find a space for in their house. And
Yes.
I say the base, the whole thing for the diorama is just really well finished and thought out. Whereas some of the kits, the bases always feel like an add-on. This has clearly been thought through from the ground up.
Yeah. No, it sits nice. It looks great on the. It will look great on the shelf when I eventually get it. But yeah, no, it is a good little kit. But I do know exactly what you mean. I totally agree with you about some of these Ultimate Collector Series kits. They are really large, and the Millennium Falcon is the extreme of the example. But if anyone's obviously recently seen, we've built the B-Wing Ultimate Collector Series. It wasn't from a box either. We collected all the parts, and that is still a reasonable size model. It is not small. I will quickly show you. It is not small, it it's as tall as it goes from my hip to my head. That's how long it is. They're not small kits. They look great. I'm not judging it, but sometimes having a small Ultimate Collector Series kit is nice. So I'm actually going to commend Lego on this and say, good idea. I would love to see more like this.
Yeah,
of this scale. Without a doubt.
So I say that most of the films have their own iconic series or moment in them, and so with their partnership with Marvel, there'll be so many iconic bits where they could create scenes for. I think that this could be a way forward. And I say it's that if you produce the big Ultimate Collector series, you don't get that many people buying them because of their size.
Yeah.
Create good quality smaller kits and they'll get a lot more sales overall.
Yeah, totally agree. Without further ado, we'll move on to the next kit. But what I will like to remind people is of course, if you have seen this or you've got one, do shout up in the comments, guys, and let us know, and let us know what you think as well of this kit, because we'd like to hear from the perspectives of someone who actually has one already. So, but yeah, let us know. So, the AT-AT Walker. So, this one is quite a common kit from the sense of people mocking this. So, I will mention this because some of our watchers will be new to probably watching Lego streams and may go, what the hell's a mock? George, will you please tell them what a mock is?
Mock is one of those lovely 3-letter acronyms standing for my own creation.
Yes, it is. And we see lots of these, don't we? We see lots of people doing my own creations and selling instructions for some of these kits. And don't get me wrong, these kits are awesome. But Lego, of course, did one originally, and now they've redone this one. And it's a really nice detailed kit. I really like it. It's good value. I think if I remember correctly, it's under £120. You're getting 6 minifigures in it. You're getting a mini speeder which loads in the back of the walker, as well as the central compartment which opens up, as well as the canopy. Where the drivers sit in the head area of the ship of the walker. It's just nicely constructed. Check it out on Lego.com.
Playable again with the firing front launchers and all the Luke figures designed for the rappelling and the getting to the bottom canopy, and those really rare minifigs of getting the pilots for the AT-AT. Such a rare minifigure nowadays. And even the Admiral Veers figure, again, such a rare one. But I say, if I recall as well, they actually designed this. It's actually the right scale for the microfighter Hoth land speeders as well.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. I like that idea. Yeah, I do like that idea. Yeah. I mean, I've seen some interesting things done with these. Excuse me. I've actually seen people motorize them and actually have them walk. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So, but we're not talking about those. We're talking about this. This is a great kit, and it's and like I say, you've got great playability.
And unlike a lot of the older versions, a lot sturdier. Actually stands up fine by itself, whereas some of the odd ones were a bit rickety.
Yeah. They were a bit rickety, and this one does. This one I have seen in person. While I don't have this kit, I have seen this one. and it does stand very well. It is very sturdy. You can even make it out in a picture. It's got Technic components as part of the reinforcement. I mean, a Lego brick is extremely strong, and it's got to go under some serious stress before it breaks. But with the kind of reinforcement these legs have got, it's not going to be it's not that rickety, and it does stand very well. So another great kit, playability as well as collectability. So, but yeah, this one's been out for a couple of weeks, but it's going to be going out of circulation soon. So anyone who's not got this, if you want it, get it. It's very good value, I think, especially with the 6 minifigures, as well as the general reveres, like George said. So it's very good. So, George, you're the Technic fan, and not that I dislike Technic, but you're a resident Technic expert. Do you want to tell us about this one?
Yeah, so this is sort of the latest in the big Technic models. So say I've been eyeing up the Labender Excavator for ages because I love those sort of big industrial engineering models and things. And again, another one of the great construction vehicles. So I think I had one of the original air compression hydraulic lifters in the day back when I was young. And I say I've loved those sorts of kits ever since. So the Technics have really improved through the years. And so you mentioned it earlier, but this one does feature the control hub. So you can drive it around using the app on your phone. It's brilliant. And as Technics grown through the years, they've got much better at emulating the lifelike things, using some of the more custom parts originally, but it's nice to see those parts getting into general circulation on more and more kits. Yeah. And again, the little stickers, the collaboration with Volvo, these things are great things. And I will probably one day convert my attic and create like a construction yard and get them all up there, and we can play construction games with with them all. But no, I think it's absolutely brilliant kit. Love it.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned loft conversions, but I've thought about it, and I'm sure quite a few people utilize their loft spaces for things like that. And there is someone that we're going to be talking about a little bit later. But I just want to take a moment out of the schedule plan for this moment in time. We don't actually have a slide prepared for this, but I just wanted to pay a little tribute. So I'm sure some of you may or not be aware that the actor Chad Boseman passed away in the last day or last couple of days. It's a very sad affair. For anyone who doesn't know, this is the gentleman that played the Black Panther in the Marvel films. Awesome. He even got an award for one as well. And we'd just like to take a moment just to say our thoughts with his family during this very difficult time. But we'd also like to say thank you to him for what he's done and brought to the MCU.
Indeed.
So we'll move on. But like I say, I just wanted to mention that now before I forgot about it. So what are we talking about now? We are talking about one of our mock projects, guys. We have been working and developing, working very hard on our very first mock minifig scale that we got from an inspiration from the classic sci-fi film Inner Space, directed, I believe it was by Steven Spielberg. I think so. I'm a bit rusty, but
let me double check.
He's going to double check. George will do a quick check, but I'm certain it was Steven Spielberg. But it's the Kraken submersible pod. For anyone who hasn't seen the film, basically a pilot in a pod gets shrunk down and injected into a bunny rabbit for a science experiment, but it goes drastically wrong, and the technology tries to be stolen. So he accidentally gets injected into a man, a character called Jack Putter. And of course, this is where we're taking our inspiration for our mock. So George, was it right?
Sort of. Produced, not directed.
Produced, but I knew he was involved. So I'll give me Ding! Kudos points for that. Thank you, George, for doing our Wikipedia check, I'm sure. So this is just where we are with it at this moment in time. George has very kindly, bless him, has been my inspiration behind this and giving me some guidance and where he thinks it doesn't look quite right and it looks good. So it's been a nice bit of labour of love. Labour of love. Probably started out by assembling a few components first, and just to kind of get a general idea of the scale and how to get it to work with a minifigure. And then from there, I've got the general shape all planned out and some of the elements that I thought I needed. I've now brought them into what's called Studio, or stud.io. I love the pun on that, stud.io, but it's Studio. It's a third-party Lego building simulator that allows you to build up your kits and render and make instructions for them. Very good, produced by Bricklink, I believe, if I remember correctly. It's a great piece of software, and you can kind of see an element of the progress of where we are with it. So you can see I've created some of the main undercarriage with the support struts, and I've started working on the front lighting rig, which goes on the front of the little pod, as well as some of the external engines. So I'll be putting more progress updates on the show with this, but this is where we are with it, and it's looking really good. Do let us know what you think, guys, your thoughts, any tips or any advice or things you like or dislike with the model so far. Like I say, it is a work in progress. It's not finished yet. It's still being developed, but we like criticism, we like involvement, and we love your feedback. So do let us know what you think. Even if it's not live, we do check back on the comments, don't we, George?
We do indeed.
Yes. So that's where we are with that. And then without further ado, we'll move on to our next element, which is your build, guys. So we want you to let us know what you've been working on, what you've been doing, and where you've been doing it. So this week... We
did mention those loft conversions.
Yes, we did mention those loft conversions. We're highlighting the collection of Andrew and Harry in Lincoln. You can see there they are in their loft conversion, or progress loft conversion, bless them. And look at all that Lego. What a lovely spot to do a bit of building. And I think that's Harry there, building away. I'm not quite sure, can't quite tell what he's building from those instructions. If you guys can figure it out and tell us, then go for it. Unless, George, you can figure it out from that picture.
No, I think it's a bit early in the build to tell from that.
Yeah, me too, yeah. But there's some great bits there. George, what can you pick out from that lot?
My eyes immediately drawn to some of the classic city sets on the right there. I believe that's a fire station that they've got. And as I say, just love those classic city sets. Yeah. And again, so hard to get hold of now. A friend of ours who's in France has a huge classic city collection with all old Octane branding before they partnered with Shelty for all the new stuff. I say, really rare sets. Oh yeah, well back to the 80s.
I think I might know who that is as well.
I think you probably do, yes.
I do, yes. I do have him as a friend on social media, but it's not fair to mention names. But if you are listening, said friend, and you'd love to be a guest on the show and have a chat with us, then please do reach out, and we can probably try and arrange that. And we're always up for doing that, guys. If you want to appear on the show and have a segment and tell us about what you're building, like we're now, this is where you could come on and talk to us. So if you're up for doing that, do that. But I'm going to pick out a couple of bits here because obviously there's the great big Hogwarts in the background. You can't miss that. That looks amazing. And that's a great kit. But I can also see the Hogwarts Express sitting in the background, hidden behind the Hagrid's hut.
And the flying car, of course.
Flying car, yeah. And that also looks like Privet Drive. I didn't think Privet Drive was a kit. I thought that was a mock. I might be wrong. Let us
I
know.
can't remember which way either, but I do believe that there is that gatehouse as well, which lovely separate model.
Yes. Yeah. Just hidden behind it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And then over on the shelf at the back, you've got all those lovely stacks of bricks and boxes of lots of spare parts, which is always good. But it's that
Don't forget
top.
that Technic tractor.
I'm going to say it's that tractor. Now, I think that's Andrew's because he's seriously into his tractors. I know Harry is as well, but Andrew's actually built, I know it's slightly off piece slightly, actually built a tractor from scratch, an old refurbished tractor. So it is a
Lovely.
labor of love when someone does that, as well as being interested in this kind of stuff. So it goes hand in hand, engineering and Lego. You can probably find that behind most engineers or people into engineering is a fan of Lego. I would not put it past them. So do let us know if we're wrong though, guys.
I would say it's normally one of the three, isn't it? Between Lego, Meccano, and what's the other one?
I can't remember the name, but there are other brands out there, guys. Not just Lego and Meccano, but there are some others. But the big one I really am interested in, which is just on the right side by Harry, and it looks like a mock of the Room of Requirement.
Yes, so you were telling me about this the other day, and I really hope that they're going to town on this with lots of modular playable features.
Yes, I totally agree. I'm
So
really looking forward to seeing that.
It's just such a brilliant thing in the films and the books. So I think that could be such a wonderful kit.
Yeah. And I actually, I might reach out to Andrew and Harry about this because I'd love to see the progress they do with that, and maybe even get them on as a feature and talk about their mock and that build, because that looks really good. And we love talking to people about their own builds, don't we? So
we do.
We'll see what we can arrange. Right. So I think that probably covered quite a good chunk of what's up there, haven't we?
We have indeed.
There's certainly a good selection of bits and pieces in that picture. So, but thank you for sending that in. So where are we now? Well, we're up to the competition part, guys. So some of you have already entered some of our competitions and know already that the Name the Lego part is normally done on the website. So we're having a slight change with this. So we're making it very clear that it's named that part and color. What we'd like from you guys is to chime up in the comments, primarily during the show, but of course we know audience levels are new because it's a new show. So if you are online now and you are watching and you'd like to participate in the quiz, you need to answer the question in the next couple of minutes. And hopefully, if you are correct, you will win. If no one chimes up and gives or doesn't give a correct answer, it will then roll over to the following month, and an additional goodie bag will be added. Now, this is where it slightly differs. It's then the first two people to answer correctly will then get one of each of the goodie bags. They don't just keep rolling up, then someone just ends up with one great big goodie bag. It will get split because it's fairer that way.
It is indeed.
Yeah. So, George, do you want to tell them or give an example of how we kind of expect an answer to be given?
So we expect the answer to include the exact part name and the exact color as if you were buying it from Bricklink or the Lego store direct. So, for example, say 1x1 brick, black, or black 1x1 brick, any order, mix of match of part type and color, but each of those components must be exact to the part type. So just saying it's a one block stud would not be sufficient. It must be the exact name.
Yeah,
and the exact color.
Yeah, you got it in one. So what we're going to do now, guys, is show you what the goodie bag is up for grabs this month. There's some nice good parts in there. There's some a good selection. There's over probably 80 pieces in there. So it's a good goodie bag. And
lots of usable pieces in there too. It's not just the dross.
Pieces. Yeah, not just dross. Lots of usable pieces. You've got steering wheels. You've got what looks like brackets and connectors, and then pins as well. So there's bits you can make from that without a doubt. So without further ado, we're going to just show the part on screen and give you guys the opportunity to try and answer. So we're going to give you a minute or two to have a look. And then if we don't get a response, we'll skip past the answer and we'll roll it over to next month. Okay, so without further ado, here is the part, guys. So, George, have we had any progress with any other builds?
Well, there was the other little builds that I, of course, had with my birthday present from my work friends. The lovely little microfighter set of the T-16 Bantha attack.
Yeah, gotta love these. Gotta love these. I actually really rate some of the microfighter kits.
I do.
Yeah. I actually I've seen dioramas done with the microfiber microfighter. You got a nice big scale.
Someone did the Death Star trench run with one.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yeah, they did a Death Star trench, and then they used the microfighters to scale up to scale the trench, and they had them all in there, and it looked great. It looked absolutely brilliant. I loved it. So
some people, I think someone did a Hoth diorama as well, didn't they?
Yep, they
with the land
did.
speeders and things. So some really great microfighter sets. I think I can't remember who got it for me as well. When I've got the little Millennium Falcon from the new series, and I just absolutely love it. It's a lovely little piece. I love microfighters for just the fact that they can just sit anywhere. We've just got them around the house.
And don't take much up space. Exactly.
They just sit on the edge of your bookshelf.
Yeah, exactly. So no answers as of yet. What do you reckon, George? Do we give them another minute or so, or do we roll it over to next month?
Yeah, I suspect there's someone upstairs who's not answering, thinking that it's not fair. But considering I've not told her and she doesn't really know part names, I think she should have a go.
Well, look, if anyone else is watching, that's fine. But what we'll do then is, hopefully, as this show gets more traction, hopefully we'll get more entries. So while if you want to guess the part and the answer in the meantime, you won't actually win anything because you need to answer this during the live stream. But just for fun, if you want to see if you've got the part right, we'll reveal the answer now, and then we'll give you a new part next month. How's that sound, George?
Sounds good. So I believe this one is, correct me if I'm wrong here, the 2x6 plate in dark bluish grey. Yes,
you are correct, George. It is. It is the 2x6 plate in dark bluish grey. Unfortunately, you can't win. So this will get rolled over to next month, everyone. And hopefully we'll get a winner next month, where there will not only just be I don't know where the other goodie bag is, but it's already made up. We will post the new rolled over prize, and we'll be obviously highlighting that it'll be the competition will be done in next month's live show. Okay, so when is the next live show happening? Well, it's on the 18th of September. The reason it's not on the last Friday of the month this time, guys, is because I've got a special occasion to attend when it would normally fall on the 25th. So we've moved it. So the next live show, the next Lego live show, is going to be on the 18th of September at 8 p.m. So please, guys, if you are watching this back now and you have enjoyed the show, please do like, share, and subscribe. You can always check out the website, which is www.doalg.co.uk. And you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We have Twitter. We don't use it that much, but if you also want to, follow us on Twitter, remember, use the hashtag DOALG. Okay, guys. George, thanks, mate. I've absolutely loved this week's show. I've enjoyed presenting it. I'm sure you have.
I love being involved.
Yeah.
And I suppose until next time.
Yeah.
Keep
So
building.
yeah, keep building, guys, and stay safe. Take care.